unionized shops, and that's why the company I work for went out of business. And and unfortunately, that is happening throughout New York City. What I'm saying to you, it's not necessarily a Walmart because it's construction, because Councilmember Barron just mentioned a project that would be a great construction project. Is there a difference? Do you have a difference if it's...
Why can't there be both? Why do you take the American ingenuity and American spirit and stifle it? That sounds so anti-American.
But I don't see, personally, I don't see building a Walmart would necessarily change the construction industry as you were saying it, even if they built 5 Walmarts.
Well, then you and I disagree.
Thank you.
Councilmember James, followed by Councilmember Greenfield.
So I don't know whether or not Walmart, in my mind, represents ingenuity, innovation, and is part of the American dream. And I also recognize that Walmart entered into an agreement with the construction unions yesterday, and I applaud them. And if in fact you are a supporter of the union movement, which is responsible for the middle class, and I value the work of the unions in the city of New York, why are you not urging Walmart to allow their workers to organize?
That's not my job. I'm not an organizer. I'm a union worker. As you can see, I have no union representation here. I'm a rank and file member. I am from the field. I'm just a construction miner.
Right. And all that I am saying is, just as you are a member of a local union and you were allowed to organize and you reap the benefits of it and you have been somewhat successful, why not for the employees who work for Walmart who unfortunately are locked out of the same sunshine that you now enjoy?
I don't believe it is being locked out. I mean, if you want to talk about corruption...
It's not corruption, sir. Yeah. It's the ability to unionize and organize and fight for union wages.
Oh, okay. So there's no corruption in unions.
Do you have any information or any evidence that you'd like to...
Yeah, I get about 100 Daily News issues.
I know, and you know, I've been in the Daily News a number of times and they've got it wrong.
Well, if they got it wrong, you better go get Michael Ford, who's doing 11 years.
I know, I understand that, but the issue today is you benefit from the union, and why shouldn't other individuals be allowed to benefit?
I benefit from my hard work.
Okay. Let me ask you this
and the union lives off of my sweat and blood.
Okay. So let me ask you this other question. The construction union entered into an agreement with Walmart. Do you know whether or not they specifically are going to allow members of the union who live in East New York and or in Brownsville to have first priority in working on their job?
All of these jobs today now are, they're like PLA agreements, and what happens is, I know, now I'm not talking as an expert, I'm talking just because I run these jobs.
Right.
I don't have the behind the door knowledge, but what I know, you do have to have a criteria for a certain percentage of community people, minority people, and females.
Do you know whether or not Walmart entered into a PLA in East New York?
We're not at that stage yet.
You're not at that stage?
No.
So you entered into an agreement yesterday and there's no commitment to hire locally?
No, of course there is.
You're sure of that?
Oh, absolutely.
You're absolutely sure of that?
I mean, I haven't seen the documents and I didn't sign it, but I guarantee you, the way we're doing construction today, it will be.
Okay. And all of the, okay, never mind. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Councilmember James. Councilmember Greenfield.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Andy, I want to thank you for coming out here today. I also want to thank you for your patience. These
I wasn't that patient.
Things take time, we're trying to do a thorough investigation into the matter, and I think that's why we have people here from both sides, and I appreciate you coming out. I think you make very important points. You know, obviously there's a lot of frustration. I think we're all frustrated. I'm as frustrated as you are that my corner hardware store has gone out of business and that my local pharmacist had to move out of town. And perhaps that's one of the reasons that led to this hearing today, which is that we are coming to the realization that many big boxes are harmful to our communities, and we're trying to study the issue a little more. And so I don't take the cynical view. I see this as an important role of the City Council. I can't tell you what happened with our predecessors, But I can tell you that this council, I think, has significant interest in that conversation. I think that's why we're here, hopefully in good faith, to evaluate that. But I think you bring a very important point, and that is that, and I'd like to explore this, that there's very significant unemployment in the city, but perhaps, not perhaps, for sure, higher than average are in the construction trades. Do you know the current unemployment rate in the construction trades?
Repeat that what you just said.
Do you know the unemployment rate within the construction
trades?
Yeah,
it's almost 30%. Union construction.
30%.
30%.
Well, I mean, which is around 3 times higher
than the national average.
Than the overall unemployment today in New York City. Do you have any idea how many jobs these projects would create? Do you have any knowledge, or are you familiar with that at all?
I haven't seen the scope. I would definitely need to see the scope. But when I think Wal Mart, I do think of the superstructure, and that usually means, you're talking everything from the guy who's the security guy to pushing the broom to the architects and the developers.
What's a guesstimate? They're talking about 100,000 square feet spaces. What's a guesstimate on how many jobs you think would be created as a result?
Oh, instantly you'd ramp up a couple of thousand right away.
A few thousand jobs.
Yeah, right away. But then it would grow. It would grow. As the job advances, you need more bodies, you need to advance more, and the stages get more complicated.
How long would these jobs last for? How long do these projects generally last?
Today's schedule, they go quick. You'd be very surprised. We did 7 World Trade in less than 2 years. That was from the ground up. Finished to the key in the door.
So even though it's short term, it's still a vital, obviously it's vital to your industry, you would say, because of the current unemployment rate.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. And also surrounding businesses, we kill them. When we go to lunch and, we occupy the little deli guy or the coffee shop that's left, they really get a shot in the arm from us. The community in general, wherever the construction takes place.
All right. Well, listen, Andy, once again, thank you for coming here. I think you had an important perspective. There's no question that unemployment is a significant issue, and obviously among construction trades, it's an issue as well. And there's no question that I give Wal Mart a lot of credit for making a deal with the unions that were they to come into New York City to use union construction, and that's something that's important, obviously. So thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan.
Thanks. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up this one issue because it's something very near and dear to my heart. I appreciate all the work and all the time that's being taken and the really over-examination of the issue. And I wish we would have applied a fraction of that when we were talking about putting up a mosque down at Ground Zero. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Mr. David Schwartz from the Gotham